that by this afternoon. So yeah, I want to do like a block party, like a private Zoom thank you block party when I get to 1,000 people. I think we're almost at 550, so more than halfway there. So if you're watching this and you're not in the chat, you know what to do. Press all the buttons. You know where to look for stuff. All right, so Aquarius, we are looking, this is for the month of November, but it's whenever you find it, because your guides will bring you to whatever you're supposed to listen to. And we're looking into your energy, and we are looking into the energy of other. Other can be another person. It could be a situation. It could be people at work. It could be your in-laws. It could be your kids. It could be a relationship you're already in or a relationship that you're out of communication with. But it can also be you and the integration of a newer, more healed version. Sometimes we have to go back and forth and oscillate and integrate healing. So the other energy can very quite literally be the other side of you that you're struggling with, or the old habit, or whatever it is. Different versions of us exist during different parts of our journey, because most people will be a little bit more healed than they were the day before. They'll be a little bit smarter, right? If we're willing to look, if we're willing to bring things to our awareness, if we're willing to sit with them, if we're willing to take the time to heal them. So it can absolutely be the other energy can still be us. And we're going to look at what's recently impacted your energy, what energy is available to you now, and what's coming up. And I'll clarify the reading. Let's see okay. So we have the Queen of Swords. Time to be truthful, Aquarius. And Aquarius, just so you know, I gave you a shout out. I want to say during Gemini's reading, because I was talking about the Tower. And that's kind of like Uranian energy, which is quasi-Aquarian. But the card that comes after the Tower is the Star, which is the healing card. And I hate it when people call Aquarius detached and cold. I will say that until the day that I am no longer here, and I said probably the next lifetime, because Aquarius is the Star card. They're healthy. They're about healing. And if they don't go forward to innovate, they can't go forward and be humanitarian and really like collectively kind of take care of everyone. They're just, Aquarians are not about the bullshit. And they're probably not going to participate in drama and attachment, which is actually really freaking healthy. But because somebody else takes offense of they're not reacting, right? So like if somebody does one of those like, well, if you don't want my attention, so-and-so wants my attention, and then floods their social media with pictures of them and so-and-so out, you know, watching a band or doing whatever to try to evoke that like crazy jealousy or anything. All you just said to that Aquarius placement was, I'm not mature enough to be in a relationship with you. And I really like drama and unhealthy attachments because there's some unhealed parts of me that I don't know how to express in any other way. And the Aquarian's going to be like, good luck with that healing. I'm going to take my ass over there and do stuff to where I can move forward. I don't want to go back. So their lack of reaction that you were looking for, you know, everybody knows the story about Pavlov's dog. If you don't know it, look it up. That's not Aquarius. You're not going to ring the bell in any kind of dramatic way that's based in attachment, whether that's attachment to your own wounds, attachment to the social constructs of what it should look like when somebody fights for you, whatever kind of attachment you got, you are not going to ring that bell and end up with them salivating. Now, there are some other placements. If that's your thing and you like that, go get you some of those other placements. But Aquarius ain't the one. They are not going to salivate when you ring the bell. Period. The end. They are also not detached and cold. That is the other 11 placements reaction to them not having unhealthy attachments. I said what I said. Okay. Now that I just got off, I'll get off my soapbox and do the damn reading now. Okay, so what we have is the Knight of Cups in reverse, which is very interesting. Okay, so I'm using the Herb Crafters deck. And the funny thing about that is it's a gorgeous deck. It was actually, was it my birthday present from Connie Jo? Yes, it was birthday. And so it's very interesting, but they have like the, like, instead of saying swords, whatever, they're saying like the actual elements. So it's, you know, water, fire, earth. You have to know the cards well enough. But the court cards are written in Spanish, which I'm pretty decent at. But so I know the Madre of Air is the Queen of Swords. Like, that's an easy one. But it's the Cura Andrea. I believe that is the knight. I think it means warrior. So we're gonna go with that. It means the knight. And I have no idea where the book is. I have no idea where the book is. But it is the Knight of Cups, because I think I had somebody like double check me on that. But if I don't know if it's Spanish or Portuguese. If it's Spanish, it's like probably proper Spanish and not the Spanish that I mostly know from living in New York. So this King of Cups this Knight of Cups came out in reverse. Now, I gotta tell you, I personally not a fan of the King of Cups or the Knight of Cups. I feel like the Knight of Cups is a love bomber. Maybe it's my own thing. You know, I try not to put my own personal stuff on. Like, I can have my own experience with certain placements, but I never bring that into the tarot. Like, there's a couple of signs that I don't date anymore. But that's a me thing, and I know it's not a collective thing. But in general, I don't like the Knight of Cups. And that's a water sign thing. But I find that the energy of the Knight of Cups to me is somebody who maybe thinks that a few sweet nothings and a compliment and some distracting little gifts and the gestures and all of that will override any of your, you know, self-esteem, logical thought, right? Like, the romance is the smoke screen sometimes of the Knight of Cups. I love it. So I don't mind the Knight of Cups in reverse. And it makes perfect sense for Aquarius, because Aquarius is also not about that bullshit. Not that Aquarius cannot be romantic, because they can. And it's not that they can't be deep and loving. But I think that a very smart Aquarian is probably going to be a little suspicious of somebody that's all Pepe Le Pew. You know, the Knight of Cups is a little Pepe Le Pew. It's a little Gomez Adams. Although we love it for Gomez Adams. We love that for Morticia. The whole, you know, kissing of the arm and the compliments, the over the top. If you're a Pisces, you might eat that up. Yum. You can't convince me Gomez Adams is not a Pisces man. Or at least he has a Pisces moon. I feel like you tried it. I feel like you did your very best to be like, prove that you weren't cold and detached to somebody, which you should never have to prove because you're not. But because you don't react, because you're not overly, I think that you actually tried to put on some of the pretensions of like real deep love that honors one another, can be romantic, but doesn't require romance. I'm going to say that again. Real deep love that honors one another can be romantic, but does not require it. It requires intimacy. It requires a little brown chicken, brown cow every once in a while. Just that being hot for each other. Looking across the room and feeling like, hubba hubba. But it does not actually require the romance. I feel like I'm full of controversy today. I feel like in every sign so far I said something like, people are gonna... It was funny because I said, I might get a little like, people might log out when I say this. And after I said the thing, 4 people like left the chat. And I was like, oh. But I think I could say that to Aquarians and they're not going to be mad at me. I think that you attempted to be like, maybe I just need to do that because this person doesn't feel loved enough. Like, poor Aquarians sometimes can feel like something is not always wrong if I'm not up your butt with a dozen roses and telling you how gorgeous you are today and that you're the love of my life. Like, if an Aquarian is with you, I will repeat what I said. They ain't got time. Ain't no Aquarians got time for that. For being fake, for being inauthentic, for going backwards, for having drama, for having bullshit attachments. They'll be romantic when they are feeling romantic, but they're not going to be romantic for like the requirements of being romantic. They will not manufacture it inauthentically. That's all kind of good stuff. I think it feels like you made a college try here. Let's see what else is happening. On their side, we have the Justice card. I know you're both air signs, but Aquarius and Libra can sometimes struggle a little because Libra is about the romance. They are about the attachment. Aquarians are run by your Uranian energy, which is freedom, rebellion. Like, give me some, I could love you to death. And then also I'm going to need some space. And Libra would skin you and wear you like a coat if they could. So if your person is Libra, and that's why, but you got to love this, the Herb Crafters deck, because this is a brilliant way to do the Justice card. It's cannabis. I think that's like, I think that's genius. Yeah. So I feel like your person could constantly be looking to like checking to see if everything's okay and everything's even, because like even's really important to them. Which I get. If you're not new, you've heard me say before that balance doesn't look like this. It looks like this. It's like a seesaw, right? And sometimes people that are your opposites or in conjunctions. The thing about an in conjunct sign, think about your opposite sign. So if you're Aquarius, Leo's your opposite sign. So Cancer and Virgo are going to be your in conjunct signs. And what they're not sharing, your opposite shares a modality at least. But the one on either side is not sharing a modality, right? Aquarius, because Cancer is cardinal and Virgo is mutable. You're fixed. And they're not sharing an element because you're air and they're water and earth. So there's not a whole lot, but it can bring balance. Oppositions and conjunctions both, I feel like, can bring balance. But it looks like this when somebody first gets on that seesaw. It takes a minute. But balance in general should never look like even Steven. We'll have to clarify that. Okay, that makes a little sense. The energy the thing that's most impacted the energy as it is now, that the thing that already happened, whether it happened last week or it's been happening for the last 2 years. If you're done trying to be the Knight of Cups, or you're not accepting Knight of Cups energy, either makes sense to me. They want justice in their mind. I'm not saying this is like the conversation of, doesn't mean that you did anything wrong, but in their mind, there's something to apologize for. I have the Ace of Cups in reverse. There's a little standoff right now. That's also one of the apology cards for me. If it's in reverse in the alchemy row, I feel like you do not owe them apology. You are not about the bullshit. They feel like you do owe them an apology. And they are waiting for you to come with the big, I love you, please forgive me. And you're like, no, there's nothing wrong here. This feels like it feels like a little bit of a disconnect. It doesn't mean it's not fixable. Let's look at the rest of it. In your current energy, we have the Awakening card, or the World. Judgment, actually. It's Judgment. Judgment is like 2 chapters closing at the same time. It's a 20. It's like 2 10s on the board. We also have a lot of 9s here. The Judgment card is in reverse. Judgment is past, present, future. It is taking temperature of what you learned from stuff that's happened in the past and whether you're taking that to move forward or not. It could also be somebody that's been apart from you, that's learned lessons from what's happened in the past, and now they want to like meet back up and see what future looks like. When Judgment is in reverse, I see that as that energy. A situation, whether it's with this person or somebody else, may want to re-examine with this new, more informed version of themselves. I don't know that I feel like it's a new healed version, but I want to say there's something more in their awareness. In their energy, we have the 2 of Swords in reverse. Just not making a decision either way, and also racked with overthinking. The energy that it's creating between the two of you, or this situation in you, is the Hermit. A 9, may I say. That's Virgo's card. The inconjunct. Yeah. This is painting quite a story. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This might be very specific. Like, this, I feel like sometimes I get these readings when I'm doing readings on TikTok. All my social media is connected to my link tree, which is in my website, and the link is the first thing in the description. Where you feel like, I don't think this is a huge collective message. This feels real specific. And I'm sure for one or two of you, it's almost going to freak you out, because this is it has so much detail. Take what resonates and don't try to make fit what doesn't fit. But for some of you, this is gonna, I feel like I'm clocking somebody's energy very specifically. Either you're rejecting, you have rejected, you're done accepting, is what I should say. Knight of Cups energy that doesn't have more meat to it when the words have dissipated. When the flowers, wow, this is coming through strong. This is what I'm hearing. When the flowers die and the song is over and the words have left the air. If there's not meat and follow through behind it, you are no longer accepting. Knight of Cups energy. They took that as an insult. They're looking for justice and fairness. And your lack of reaction to how they feel like they are, giving you their heart. And the thing is like, that's great, but that can't be in the form of words. It can't just be a conversation. It has to have follow through. And because you did not react the way that they expected you to react, you did not salivate at the sound of the bell, they feel that you owe them an apology, and you do not feel that you owe them an apology. With all of that going on, it feels like multiple people somebody could be checking in on you, and I don't know that that's so much of a temptation. That other person who's like, hey, maybe I screwed that up. Maybe we could try again. I see your point now. I grew out of that attachment phase. That person could just be coming in to give you confirmation that you're not wrong. That person could just be coming in for confirmation to feel like I wasn't the bad guy in that either. But I feel like everybody here is re-looking at a situation. You're re-looking at how this started. Very specifically, for one of two of you, you are re-looking at how this started and what made you pull towards this person, what made you interested, and what part of you thought it was interesting. Because I promise, if you're an Aquarius and if you're cross-watching, take it as a compliment. If you're with an Aquarius, they didn't just think you were cute. They thought you were interesting. And I think that you, Aquarius, sorry, cross-watchers, for some of you, you may be questioning, looking at what part of you, what part of me was I operating from when I found this interesting? Because now I kind of feel it like it's a lot of work. And there's a lot that I like about this person, but it's also a lot of work. And I think they're re-looking at everything. I'm also getting a little energy where it's like, I drew my line in the sand. I need an apology. And they might actually be coming in to like re-looking at everything, or rereading texts or something. I'm getting some air placement energy on your person's side and thinking, maybe I did overdo it a little bit here or there, but I don't think they're ready to admit it. But they're examining it a little bit. Oh, I hate this. I don't think that they're examining it as like what they can do to shift their own energy, or what do they have to learn about themselves. I think they're examining it to figure out just this one situation. I wish I felt like they were examining it just for themselves, just for their own growth, because that's the shit that sticks. It feels like they're just examining it to get out of this pickle that they have found themselves in with you. Gotta be honest. Okay. Now, we have 9 of Pentacles coming up for you, though. Love that. That also showed up in Libras. I love that. 9 of Pentacles is reaping the fruit of your rewards. I don't know that it's about this situation, but something comes in for you, Aquarius, that like, it could be that somebody comes in and is like, I learned so much in my, exchanges with you. When I look back, you taught me so much. This could just be like you reaping the fruit of your labors as far as like sticking to your guns of who you are. They have the 5 of Wands, which also came out in Libra's reading, but this is in the upright. They are having lots of inner conflict. The 9 of Wands in the middle. So that's defense. That's them being defensive. Both of you having some walls up. I mean, we have the Hermit. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. The Hermit in the alchemy then. And then leading up to the 9 of Wands. Walls up. Defensive. I worked this hard to build this. You shall not pass. I feel like something that's going to come in, Aquarius, that's going to confirm for you, I'm not crazy, and I'm not wrong here. And it's going to make you feel good, because you have a lack of unhealthy attachment, although it would be seen as cold. Like, you're going to feel like, I can move forward without thinking or knowing that I was not doing this other person harm by sticking to my guns. I don't think that you stick to your guns to be stubborn like some other signs can be. I think you stick to your guns after you've examined and made sure that you're not doing anybody else harm in sticking to your guns. And I think that after you've like examined and looked at everything, like you feel like if you wanted justice, I'm giving you justice. I'm making sure everything's fair to everybody. Nobody's over compromising that they can't live with it. So that there's backsies. You know what I mean? Like when everybody pretends everything's okay and agrees to things that they don't really feel, that doesn't have longevity. Aquarius knows that. They are having the feeling like, I need justice. I need an apology. I need you to come back at me and tell me how wrong you are and you can't live without me and how much you love me and there's no one like me. And then they are wrought with overthinking and indecision. And then they are in inner conflict. I don't have any placements in Aquarius. I do have some 11th house placements. But I have done work on myself because I have found myself in situations in life that were not good because I made them with the unhealed, very attachment, codependent, needing validation, unhealed version of myself. Facts. And then I went through an Aquarius. I just got out of my progressed moon being in Aquarius. And I had the most epiphanies, the biggest awakening, and the most growth during my Aquarius moon period. So grateful. Because I was allowed to put attachment aside and really see things for what they were. One of the things that I am a fan of, because of all those things I just said, is sometimes you just have to let people sit and figure things out for themselves without judgment, without being mean to them, without cheating on them. If you want to stay in, but that doesn't mean you have to do their emotional labor for them. In fact, you enable them when you do their emotional labor for them, and they're less invested in the longevity of the product of the emotional labor when you do it for them. I don't know that this is dead in the water. I really feel like it may not be dead in the water. But you're going to have to, and they're going for a minute, they're going to be like, this cold Aquarius son of a bitch does not care that I'm over here crying, watching The Notebook. I want them to build a house and be Noah. And I think that you will, without judgment, because Aquarius does a lot without judgment. I think without judgment, you're going to let them have their moments until they come to a conclusion themselves. Cross watchers, if you want somebody that's going to judge you passionately, fight with you all the time, and do all your emotional labor and then resent you later for it, then don't get with an Aquarius because they're not going to do any of that. Clarify the reading. I see you all in the chat, and I appreciate you a lot. Yeah, so that's going to be the new, I should be saying that in all the videos. That's going to be the new, maybe I'll just make a short. That's going to be the new schedule for videos for me. I cannot do a full read every week for every sign. Tuckers, and then on top of it doing free readings. And honestly, I think it's more valuable for me to be available to people, to give them a yes or no, or just give them confirmation, because it's about giving you like some sense of not just even clarity, but inner peace. Right? When we're like anxiety ridden, a lot of times I'm just giving you all, because you guys all have gifts. Every person does. We're all made of the same matter. We all come with a third eye and a chakra system, right? But I can't read for myself. I could feel something, know something, have a download. I still need confirmation. So I think it's more valuable, rather than me doing full reads for each sign every week, that I have the space to be able to also do an hour a week at least of just free card pulls. Maybe not the full-on mini reads like I used to do, but the free card pulls. And then like I said, do some maybe some spiritual stuff, or teach some stuff, or talk about manifest. It's whatever you guys want. And then we can do like a once a month. I want to do like a spotlight Sunday where we have somebody else come on and talk about something. Like I have a client that does sound healing, and I think that shit's so cool. And I would love for them to come on. I have other friends that are metaphysical practitioners, and I am all for giving everyone a platform. Somebody else could have better clairaudience, way better clairaudience than me. Like I have certain gifts that I excel at, and then I have the trauma-informed stuff. I'm Susie, and that's all I'm supposed to be. And however much that increases, that's fine. But I'm also like, I don't feel like bringing anybody else on and giving you guys all the proximity to other people who do other things that I don't do. I don't feel like that hurts anything, and I don't feel the need to gatekeep it. So I would love to do stuff like that. But you guys all have to leave me comments about what you want to see. Okay. For right now, I think this is going to stay a little bit in pause. We have the Hangman and the Eight of Swords. Everybody, I think there's overthinking and there's just pause. I think this person's overthinking and having a little bit of anxiety. I think this is stressing you the fuck out. I think this whole situation is maybe stressing you the hell out. And I think for that reason, everything's just put on pause because an Aquarian knows how to give something space. They respect having their own, and they understand the value. Even if the person doesn't want space, there's always a little value in the space of letting people have their own thoughts and not just reacting to somebody else. Let's get a card from them. I also think I want to create my own like message from your person. Like something more diverse and based off of like, they don't have to be a bad guy kind of thing, you know? Let's see. Let's get one. Then I'm going to start appointments for the day. And then I hope that I will see you all on Halloween. What I really want you guys to do is if you're not doing the outside thing, I know the numbers are going up. Everybody feels different about that. It says, let me take the lead. They have a little time to have an ego death. Aquarius. They need a little time to have an ego death. About their entitlement to their drama. It's actually what you're doing is healthy. I try not to be one-sided, but in this situation, I'm really feeling that. I just got chicken skin. I doubt you can see that, but like that was my physical confirmation. If you're not doing anything else and you're not dressing up for Halloween and you have something fun or you have an idea or you just were inspired and you want to dress up also for tomorrow night, please do so. And please email me the pictures and I'll go over that tomorrow night. And tomorrow during the day, I'm going to do, what's tomorrow? Fire signs. But what I want to do is put them up on, I'll put them up on the community page if you want me to. But if you're dressed up and having fun, if you want to do that, you can even send them to me and we can put them, I will put them up on my social media and also on the community page. For soul navigation. I'm a big fan of celebrating whatever we can celebrate. Have fun, be playful. That's helping the inner child in you. Joy is always good. And I love you, now you love you. Space does not make you cold. Love happens in the space sometimes. Bye, Aquarius.